The Real Estate Hour, the longest-running real estate talk show in the North Bay, heard every Sunday morning right here on KSRO for over 35 years. Hosted by Allison Norman and Stephanie Norman.
I'll be home for Christmas. You
Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Sunday.
So
now we really are getting close to the point where it's appropriate to play this song.
Right. Because everyone else is
Yes.
playing it, and we always play a little sooner than the rest of the world.
Right.
But for good reason, because if you want to be in a home by Christmas, boy, you're cutting it close. Although we have actually 2 offers that we received this last week had 21 or 20-day closes. So
do people still have time to get in a home by Christmas? If they put
You
in an
do.
offer now, do they have time?
very well, it depends on if you have a lender and if you've already been pre-qualified, they've already run all of your documentation through the direct underwriter system and all that. A lot of our good local lenders here can close in like 15 days. 17, sorry. The lenders are all, what?
I don't know.
No, but really they can, and we know. And actually I've had a couple who have closed with a loan in like 10 days, So
Wow,
it depends. Really the key is being ready already.
Yes, have
Right.
all of your things ready.
And have already kind of been in conversation with the lender. But, that being said, we had something closed last month where the buyer saw something that she really liked and hadn't even started the process yet, but reached out, Redwood Credit Union, in this case is who did her loan. And we were, and then the lender said, how soon do you need it? I'm all, well, we need to put an offer in today, So she's all, okay. And she's a Redwood Credit Union client, their customer, and or member. I think they call them a Redwood Credit Union because it is a credit union and it's a membership thing. But anyway, so she was able to look at everything real quick and give us a pre-approval.
So it's possible.
It is
definitely
possible.
doable.
And then, and then depending on how good you look, as far as all your paperwork together and it's not going to be complicated, they can usually do it like in 17 days. The real problem we were having back in the beginning of COVID, after COVID, when the market just kind of took off and there was all this activity, was the appraisers. There was, a lender is all, well, we can close in 15 days. However, we couldn't, in some cases, we couldn't even get an appraiser out there for, 25 days or something or longer. And it was really wreaking havoc. Thank goodness we're not dealing with that anymore. We are seeing really a lot of activity, a lot of things going on, but the appraisers are keeping up. We're and the lenders are doing a great job. And and we just put our property into escrow, our listing on Knowles. So the PUD. So it's funny how things work because we ended up kind of going back and forth on something, accepting an offer, and then right after that, the same day, somebody said, "Oh, we just showed your property," and I hadn't switched it yet.
Yeah.
Even in,
It's usually how it works.
to in escrow and in the MLS, they're all, we're going to write an offer. Oh man, we just accepted one. So it happens where something will sit for a little while. In this case, it was only like 3 weeks. But in this market, you start kind of wondering if it's been a couple of weeks and you haven't had an offer. In this case, we actually dropped the price a little bit, and that was the trick because we suddenly got all this activity and offers.
Almost always the price.
Almost always.
Yeah.
Anyway, so congratulations on that.
Yes,
We still have to work through the contingencies, but we did put an offer in backup, and we're going to talk a little bit today about what that means, what a backup offer looks like.
We have a lot of topics today. We're going to talk about market update. We're going to talk about events happening in Sonoma County for the Christmas events.
There's a lot of, Stephanie pulled up a really nice list for us. So, and we'll put that on, you'll put that on Facebook as well, the Real Estate Hour with Allison.
We also have another topic.
Yeah, a couple of things. Halter Project sent out a nice email. It was a couple weeks ago. Sorry, it was November 18th, which feels like a few weeks ago. But really on animal safety, Halter Project is a great organization that does a lot of helping people prepare for emergency, wildfire, flood, any other kind of
we
emergency.
mention them a lot.
We do, because I just think
very important.
they're a really good organization. They also have teamed up with the senior emergency prep and done workshops for seniors.
Do a lot of amazing things.
For preparing your animals and yourself and everything. But anyway, she sent a good list of holiday things to be careful. So we like to remind you every year, holiday pet safety, things to kind of keep away from your pets and be aware of. And keeping those little pets safe. And then also, while it's getting cold too, we want to remember, if you have a dog, I don't understand people that leave their dogs outside. And if you have, and this is my personal opinion, if you're going to have a dog, I know there's there's ranch dogs that's their job, and they actually enjoy being outside.
Yeah, they enjoy being outside.
But the stories we've heard and the things we've seen of people that you get a pet and then you dump it outside,
those,
and then it's
super expensive fancy dogs.
You had somebody you knew that did that, and then they throw it out in the backyard, and they But anyway, so sorry,
we could go on for days about that. We don't have time.
Anyway, my opinion only, although I think it's shared by many. But anyway, if you do have an outside pet,
we're very strong animal lovers here on the Real Estate Hour.
But anyway, so we're going to talk a little bit about making sure as it gets cold, keeping your pets safe,
safe and warm.
Safe and warm.
It's going to be cold out there as we get into the colder weather.
Yeah, yes, and it is definitely into the colder weather.
Yes.
And then a little bit I wanted to talk about easements and property lines and a little bit of kind of stuff that happens when you own a country property or you're thinking about a country property, but not even country property, because there's also some good information about who owns that tree that's on your property line.
And we have that come up a lot.
We do, and it's one we've had a real estate attorney, a property attorney on. I need to get her back on. I know last time we tried was Daniela Pavone. We've just kind of crossed wires quite a bit, and so anyway, she said that's kind of one of the number one things that comes up and fence lines, fences. Which we've actually had her draft a letter to a neighbor before, not from us, but one of our clients. But it's one of the things that comes up. The tree, an annoying tree that's either unsafe, you're afraid it's going to fall on your house, or it's messy, it's ruining the fence, and then a fence comes up. It's like, well, whose fence is this? Who's going to pay for this fence? And we have an interesting story that happened to our house, which... I think we mentioned
that
before.
For another day.
I may throw it out when we talk about it there. But anyway, so it's important to understand property lines and fence, and typically you own it. Typically it's a shared, and when on the disclosures there's a question: is there any part of your property that's shared with with someone else?
And a lot of the time it could be a driveway.
Yeah, it could be a driveway. It could be a road easement. It could be almost every single property has a utility easement.
Yeah.
And so when that question comes up and people go no, and then it's like, well, actually, there are. But again, those disclosures, are you, the seller, aware of the following?
Yeah.
So if you're not aware, then the answer is no. But just know, and you should know if you've lived there, that there is an easement. There's a utility easement.
Yeah.
The fences are typically shared. And so when the question is there anything shared with another? It's like, yes, the fences are shared.
Yeah, and then sometimes there's the easements that were grandfathered in.
Yeah.
And so those are always
there's the prescriptive easement, and then there's the actual legal easement.
Yeah.
So a lot of things. So we're going to talk all about easements today. And then also property lines, easements, just, what you need to know when you own a property. And, of course, to take a look at the market. I don't know what time it is. I don't have my phone today. Is it time for a break? Okay, let's take a quick break. When we come back, how about if we hear all about some things you can do around town for Christmas?
Let's do that.
Stephanie has a great list. I promise it won't be too long.
I'll make it short and sweet.
But it's a good list of things that you can do to get yourself into that Christmas spirit. Okay, we'll take a quick break. I'm Allison Norman.
I'm Stephanie Norman.
We're the Norman Home Team, and you're listening to the Real Estate Hour. We'll be right back.
The real estate.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome back.
Welcome back. No Christmas music, Joe? That's okay. We didn't prompt you.
I was anticipating it.
No, yeah, it's okay. We'll have to start with Christmas music. Rejoin every. There we go.
There we go.
Parker, I could do a variety of music since you're already saying tomorrow is December, by the way.
It is, by the way. I know. Happy almost December. Thank you, Joe, for the little bit of Christmas music.
Thank you, Joe.
I actually like Christmas music.
I
There's a
love
lot
Christmas
of people
music.
that are like, Christmas music. I worked.
Oh, yeah. You know, too.
I was going to say.
You more.
Years ago, a different lifetime ago, I worked at, in grocery, I worked at Safeway. It really does feel like a different lifetime ago. It was over like 25 years ago. But anyway, I remember, right after Thanksgiving, I think even maybe before they'd start playing the Christmas music. And we listened to it on repeat, just how many millions of different versions of the same song there could be. And everyone would complain, but I'm like, I don't know, I kind of like it,
Yeah, but after a while, it's like same songs over and over and over and over and over
It's
again.
a different
I'm like,
version.
okay.
It's a different
I need
version.
something else.
I know. Well, it's nice the new ones that come out and
Yeah.
keep it, a little more modern.
Yeah, but if you're working in any kind of customer service where you're somewhere where there's music playing,
right? Anywhere,
it's gonna be Christmas all day long for the whole month, probably
so get
since
used to
last
it.
month. Starting earlier and earlier every year.
One of our stations is already
Oh yeah, they do
Christmas,
100%. Yeah,
Christmas, yeah.
yeah, it was, yeah.
So we are there. That was sort of shocking yesterday morning, actually. And it's the station that goes through the building, so
So you're listening.
you don't
to
have
it.
a choice.
Yes.
Forced to listen to Christmas music.
That's okay. Embrace it. And on that note, Stephanie has a great list of things while you're getting into the Christmas spirit.
Going to go through it quickly. We also have it posted on our Facebook page, The Real Estate Hour with Allison and Stephanie Norman. A lot of it is also posted on Happening Sonoma County. Or otherwise, you can just Google it.
Yeah.
It's the best way to find it. But here are a couple of things. There's the Windsor Charlie Brown Christmas trees, right?
Yeah, and on the green.
Yeah, it's always fun to go to Town Green, and they have all the different decorated Christmas trees, and they're sponsored by different people, and it's really fun to go look and see all the trees. And then there's also Brewster's in Petaluma. They do this every year. They get all decked out for Christmas, and it's always really cool to go there and check out all of their lights. So they have that going on. I'm not sure for how long, but get over there.
Christmas.
Yeah, I would imagine it's
They have
through
fun,
Christmas. But yeah, it's a lot.
They have fun seasonal drinks and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a really
that's
cool
a lot
venue.
of fun. We have that posted on Facebook. Also, there's the new. It used to be. Oh shoot, I had it written down.
Hawk something.
No, but
Hawk.
what it used to be. It used to be a brewery, or not a brewery.
Bear Republic.
Yes, thank
Yes,
you.
it was.
Used to be Bear Republic. Sorry, used to be Bear Republic and Runner Park on that nice little water area, and now it is Waterhawk Club, and they are I think they're already all decked out for Christmas, and they have Santa coming and all the fun things, so check them out.
That's awesome.
And there's also the Coffee Park Christmas Light Parade. It is their 6th annual parade. That one's a lot of fun. We like to join it and decorate our car. And
the last few years we've joined it. The first, maybe 3 years ago, it was kind of a spur of the moment. Let's do it.
Let's do it. We had all the stuff, so we said, why not?
Yeah, it's really fun. They have this big staging area.
Yeah.
You don't have to join. You just show up.
Yeah, that is happening on
decorate your car.
December 13th. It's a Saturday, and it starts at 6 p.m. If you want to join, it starts at 5, and it's over in the Schaefer is it elementary school?
But it's near. It's near
there in a parking lot. You'll see all the cars over there.
We posted all the information on the Facebook page. This just so people understand what this is. So Coffee Park, where the Tubbs fire came through and destroyed the entire neighborhood, or most of it. They decided to add some Christmas cheer and do some stuff, and so 6 years ago they said let's do a parade and so it's a parade of cars that are decorated, and
really
drive through as just a a convoy of decorated cars.
Everyone's watching.
And,
the kids
people
are there,
come out of their
music playing. Sometimes people have like hot chocolate they're giving out. It's really fun.
They invite their friends over. Anybody that lives along that route in Coffee Park, and then it also goes over to that other side. Where Dogwood is and all that, because they were also, that's not technically Coffee Park, but they were also just wiped out by excuse me, by the Tubbs fires. So it's just a really feel good event. People come and park along the side of the road too and watch. We usually blast Christmas music out of our car and honk and wave at everyone.
Fun,
It's just a really good kickoff to. There's been times the last couple of years where I really couldn't get into, I wasn't really into Christmas, just whatever's going on in the world and in life, and this was a really good kickoff, playing the Christmas music, waving at everyone and seeing how excited everybody was to see us driving through. So it really, if you're having a hard time getting into the Christmas spirit, do that. Either attend, sit there on the side of the road and watch, or decorate your car and drive through.
It's a lot of fun.
Jim Scally has the Griswold House, if you've heard of, and Jim is a rep for one of the title companies here, and so we've known him for a long time. But they lived and lost their home in Coffee Park, he and his wife. And he, even before that, had decorated his house, the Griswold house, and it's so bright you can probably see it from space. But they're on Crimson Lane, which is one of the places, the parade, and he helps to put together this parade as well. So a lot of fun. And sorry, I spent more time than I meant talking about that one, but check it out. It's a lot of fun.
Yes, and then so finishing up the events. There's Northern Lights walkthrough at the Luther Burbank Center. It's a self-guided tour, and they have it going from 4:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m., and they have that going until January 19th. There's also weekends in Railroad Square.
There you go.
It is. They have free horse and carriage rides and live music, and that's going on from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on weekends until Christmas Eve. So check that out as well. And also, there's more stuff happening, I'm sure. So check out the Real Estate Hour with Allison and Stephanie Norman. We have some events posted there. We also have, as I mentioned, happening Sonoma County or good old Google.
Good old Google has, and Go Local also. I think they pull from happening Sonoma County as well. I'm not sure what's going on with my voice today. Anyway, I think we have time to talk about a few more things before we go to break for the news. We mentioned the animal safety. I don't want to forget about actually talking about it, but this is a list of things that Halter Project puts out every year as we head into the holidays, things to be careful with your pets around. Keep pets away from harmful foods. Don't let guests feed them treats or scraps. Some of our dogs eat scraps, and we're okay. And some people are okay with it. Other people, I guess this is if you are the person visiting a house, you just ask first, because some dogs have very strict diets, and cats and other animals. But
and a lot of times it's for good reasons. They might have sensitive tummies,
so don't just be all, here, let me feed your dog. Beware of toxic plants. The poinsettia is toxic. Be careful with that. If you have, we have a cat that eats plants, and every plant that we have is 10 feet off the ground, with no access to anywhere for a cat to jump to. But anyway, beware of toxic plants, and pick up flowers and leaves from the floor. Don't put decorations that look like toys where pets can play with them. Keep electrical cords out of reach of pets and children's. And then you can call the Pet Poison Helpline at 855. Well, this is a number you're not going to remember, but 855-764-7661. Just Google Pet Poison Helpline. Or go to petpoisonhelpline.com if you have any issue with that.
Or you can go to our Facebook page and we'll have it there.
Absolutely. And then holiday household hazards continued. Presents that are around the tree. If you have a dog that's going to get into things and you leave them alone, and they might be careful what's in those packages, for one. Chocolate is another big one. Scented candles. You have a dog. One of your dogs is very sensitive to scented candles. We can't do them because he gets sick from
Yeah.
them, cannabis products, if you have somebody coming over and they, or if you do, you probably know, but keep those away from the pets. If you're at somebody else's house, just be aware of that, because it could be pretty dangerous too. Batteries and corks are also toxic or dangerous to dogs. Not
we
toxic,
can't even. We have to wait until like Christmas Eve to put any gifts out, because our dogs will get into them.
They'll get into them, yeah. Darn animals. But anyway, I saw there was was it a TikTok I sent you? It says if your cat's climbing in your tree. Joe, you have cats. It says, it just showed this lady, says she picked up the tree and was running around the house chasing the cat with it. And they said that this is how to keep your cat from the tree, is make them afraid of it. I don't know. I haven't tried it. But
I don't think it would work for our cats.
I didn't think cats had fear for anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I don't know. We have one that's afraid of everything.
That's true. One of ours
Anyway, so that's some tips. Halter Project, if you are looking, actually Giving Tuesday's coming up. If you're looking for an organization to help to donate to this year, they are always appreciative of your donations as well. That's Halter
Speaking
Project.
Of donations, there's the coat drive.
Oh, thank you. Our coat drive. Gosh, we have so much just random stuff to talk about today. We are doing a coat drive with our brokerage, Keller Williams Realty, here in Sonoma County, Keller Williams Wine Country. And if you have any spare coats, give us a holler. We'll come pick them up, or you can take them to our office, which is at 3333 Mendocino Ave, Suite 100 at Keller Williams Realty. And they are collecting the coats to give out. They are going to Redwood Empire. Not Redwood Empire, Redwood Gospel Mission, and the living room. So if there's kids in women's coats, go to the living room.
And then we had someone mention that at Costco, coats are they have coats for $11 or something.
Yeah. So check it out, or the thrift stores. You can find some nice coats there too. Or if you have any, you're going to get rid of. Give us a holler, 707-799-3617. We're happy to pick them up. We got to take a break though. I'm Allison Norman.
I'm Stephanie Norman.
We are the Norman Home Team. You're listening to the Real Estate Hour. We'll be right back with more about real estate stuff. There you go.
That is one of my favorite songs.
Now, if that doesn't get you into the Christmas spirit, I don't know. It's very retro. Nostalgic. Nostalgic.
Nice way of saying old.
That's okay. We all know it. That reminded me... oh my gosh, what was I going to say? Oh, A Christmas Story is playing at a Christmas Story musical is playing at the 6th Street Playhouse.
Oh, that's right.
So if you want another fun thing to do here in Santa Rosa, Sonoma County, go check that out. Go to their website, 6th Street Playhouse.
It's fun to go see a local play.
Oh, yeah. Also, I heard that the Western, this is totally off topic, but we were speaking about pets, but the Western Farm Center is doing pets with Santa. The 6th and 7th. I just saw that this morning. Somebody posted it. So Western Farm Center, which is right down there by the 6th Street Playhouse. And then one other note before we get into, we're going to talk about the market, what happened in real estate this last week and what's currently active in the market. Wanted to let everybody know as a reminder that Amanda Hagar of Task Mortgage is going to be on the show next week, talking all about what's happening in the lender mortgage world. What's happening with rates, what maybe kind of is being predicted for next year. And then also, as first-time buyers, we like to recommend Amanda to first-time buyers because I think she's or one of our lenders that we recommend to. I think she's really good at making it easy and making it comfortable.
Yeah.
And a lot of, I know, Stephanie, just from your experience with people you're in your age group that really are nervous about and hesitant to talk to a lender because they think they're going to get all salesy on them and force them into buying a house.
I'm not ready to talk to a lender.
It's like, yes, you are. You're not ready to buy a house, but you are ready to talk to a lender because that's the best way to get ready.
She's always in our list of lenders to recommend for first-time home
Yeah,
buyers.
but not just first-time home buyers,
Yeah.
because she does a good job with all the people
She's always
we
in
recommend.
our list.
But anyway, yes, so she'll be here next week. I need to confirm that because well, no, it's in the calendar. But anyway, so plan on that 9:30 to 10 o'clock next week here on the Real Estate Hour. But let's talk about the market. What happened in the market last week? Stephanie will have that after I talk about what's currently active in the market. So, it's the holidays. We talked about last week. People kind of tend to go, oh, nothing's going to happen during the holidays, and so we saw it just the other day with our with the townhouse we have listed, where somebody went and looked at it after Thanksgiving, and we had already accepted an offer. Really kind of over that weekend, or that holiday extended weekend. And because they were out of town and they couldn't come look at it, even though it had been on the market for a few weeks already. But anyway, it doesn't just shut down. People are still looking for homes. And inventory is getting tighter right now because a lot of people go, oh, we'll just wait, So now we're single family homes, we're down to 770 active listings right now. In the single family home category, it was, just for some reference, 2 weeks ago, it was 855. A couple of months ago, we were over 1,000. So, it's low inventory, but it's to be expected during the holidays. It just shouldn't be because there's no reason to take your house off the market or wait till the spring. There are buyers, especially here. You hear a lot of, I think, national information like, oh, wait till spring. And so, well, spring is when we get our freezing cold weather. I mean, it's also freezes, during winter, but late winter, early spring, we get the flooding, we get the icky, rainy weather. Why would you wait till then? We have beautiful fall and winter here in Sonoma County, and there's people out there looking, and some people have to close escrow by the end of the year. Anyway, so 770. Were you going to say something?
Oh, I was just going to remind everyone that this is local. Don't want to listen to the national news for real estate because that isn't going to be your specific market.
Right. And it's really different and you hear this national news stories, or even California or even Bay Area news stories. It's very different in the Central Valley versus San Jose, in Silicon Valley or Monterey or, down there. It's different. Napa is even different than Sonoma. I mean, they're Marin is different than Sonoma and Napa. So it's Solano County. It's on the other end of things and being different. So
different markets, different numbers. Yeah. So it's good to take a look at local, and then we could always do your specific neighborhood or a
we can get even more local, right?
Curious about.
Yeah, or we can get you a better look at what's happening in Marin County or what's happening in Napa County or what's happening out, up in Mendocino County at the coast.
Right now we are talking about
this is all Sonoma County. Let us not get distracted. Okay, so single family homes, there's 770 active. Like I said, that's down quite a bit from even a couple of months ago and even last week. So if you're looking for a house, just know, and there may not be as much inventory available for you, and more competition when there's less inventory, right? So $1,249,000 is the average, the median price of what's currently active on the market for single family homes. And then in escrow, $269 in escrow, with $879 being that median price of the in escrow. Condos, we have 106, and this is condo and townhouse. We have 116 active currently on the market right now. That number is pretty consistent with, actually, I take that back. A couple months ago, it was 150. So not even, maybe a month ago. It was the end of October, I believe. But anyway, so 150, 160, 144 just a couple of weeks ago. So it's down now to 116, which means it's even harder now to find a condo. And there's 41 in escrow of the condos. Mobile homes, we have 80 active mobile homes. That number's pretty much kind of similar to what it's been, with 33 in escrow. Multi-units, 102. Multi-units, that's anything that's 2 to 4 units, whether it's a duplex, triplex, fourplex, or two to 4 houses on one lot. 35 in escrow on that multi-unit. That number's pretty consistent with what it's been. That one hasn't changed too much. Land is under 300 the first time in months. Really, maybe this year. It's went up. It went up crazy. Over. It went up over 300. Trying to look here. I don't know. It was maybe 6 in the last 6 months or so. I have to, Anyway, 295 active buildable residential land, and just 30 in escrow, though. So, and that's normal that, we sell a lot less land, and we are going to talk about property lines, trees, easements, all of that one after the numbers. But anyway, that's a look at what's currently active and in escrow in the market right now and here in Sonoma County. And like Stephanie said, we can fine tune that down to your specific type of property or neighborhood, or we can take a broader look, or we can look at a different county. So all those things, we can personalize it just for you.
Yes,
just reach out here at the Real Estate Hour, or reach out at our phone number, 707-799-3617. Stephanie, you have a look at what happened this last week. Were people actually doing anything?
The numbers are looking a little low compared to last week.
Yeah, because of the holidays.
Yeah, because of the holiday, it kind of shows that. It is single-family residential Sonoma County. So for new listings from last Sunday to today is 27, which is pretty low, especially compared to last week.
What was it? Is it usually like in the 60s
It's
or
usually, something? Last week was 66, and today it's 27. So that goes to show people kind of slow down during the holidays. And that is with an average median list price of $819,000 with so then that's down too, so that just means there's lower houses being listed. Or not lower houses, lower houses.
Prices. I knew what you meant.
Well, yeah, you did.
Right.
And then back on market, we have 10, price reduction 32, in escrow 47, pending 54, enclosed 66, with an average median sold price of $875,000 and 87 days on the market. That's an average 87 days on the market.
Yeah, so, that's a long time on the market. A lot of that is if it's overpriced. A lot of that also are, that's a look at the entire spectrum of, multi-million-dollar homes all the way down to, the under 5, which we don't see very many of, but... or if any, maybe out by the river around Cazadero or something. But that's, a lot of the things that are sitting longer on the market are that higher priced market. Where that segment of the market is really taking a lot longer to sell. I think as the interest rates have come down a little bit. In fact, I heard they're the lowest they've been in 3 years, I think.
Yeah, I think I heard that too.
So that I think we're seeing a little bit more movement in that higher end of the market. So that'll be good for those who are trying to sell a house in that, and somebody trying to buy in that higher price range.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if the interest rates are lower, then you're going to get a better rate. Okay, so that's a look at the market, what currently is happening in Sonoma County. We mentioned, we're going to talk about easements, property lines, all of that, but I did mention that we were going to talk about backup offers, and we did receive a backup offer on one of our listings, and I wanted to kind of explain what that is and why it's a good idea. As a buyer, it puts you in next position to be your backup offer automatically moved into first position, and the contract that's going to move. You're gonna now suddenly you are the buyer. You're gonna go through the process and all of that, and open escrow and do your inspections. In many cases, you'll have access to all the inspections that the buyer, the first buyer, did, and a lot of times you'll have that throughout the escrow. If buyer sends us over some inspections they had done, we're going to send it to the backup offer and say, here's what's going on, so that when it's time, I don't know if I'm explaining this in the right order, but anyway, so okay, let's back up. So we accept, so you are the seller, you accept an offer on it's a great offer, or you've negotiated and it it meets everything that you were looking for, so you accept that offer. Along comes another offer, or maybe you had multiple offers. You pick the one that you want to work with. This is the best one. We're going to work with this one. And the other one that didn't get accepted says, oh, shoot, well, that's a bummer, but can we maybe be in backup just in case? So it's kind of a just in case thing.
Yes.
It's like if the other person doesn't like the condition of the property, they can't negotiate a credit because of the condition of the property, or it appraises low and they don't want to do that, or they just change their mind during their inspection period, they're going to back out, which they're within their right to do. They're going to back out. Now the backup position offer is automatically put into first position, and we move forward with that offer. As the buyer of a backup offer, you can still look for property, because it's not really a for sure thing. You're just kind of holding a place for you in case the first one goes away. But you can still look for other properties. You can put offers in on other properties. If you get an offer accepted on that other property, you have to cancel, obviously, the backup offer. And then, unless you're planning on buying 2 houses. And then we also, when the first position buyer backs out, if they back out, we're going to say, buyer backed out. Would you like? Are you still interested? So it's not it's a kind of just a placeholder and a waiting in line, like a waiting list kind of thing for the buyer. For the seller, they can't accept a different offer because they've already put this offer in backup. Yeah. So for the seller, it's a for sure thing. If this offer backs out, this contract, this buyer backs out, you have to take the one that you put into backup position. You can put somebody, sometimes there's like first backup position, second backup position, third, But so we're going to go to you and say, hey, this guy backed out. Do you still want to go into first position? So on the buyer side, you can say, I changed my mind. There's also a timeline as far as if they don't put you in backup position in a certain amount of time, the contract just goes away. You are no longer in backup position because it's expired or it's past that time. So there's a lot of really good reasons why on both sides, as as the seller, it kind of holds that first buyer in check because they know that they don't have as much negotiating power now because they know you've got another offer waiting, so it's really good as a seller to have a backup offer. It's also good as the buyer to be in backup position because a lot of times things do fall apart. Those are the back on the market that we always talk about. Yeah. And then now you don't have to wait for it to go back on the market. You don't have to compete with other buyers. You've already got your offer accepted in backup position.
And the back on market makes it better for the seller that their listing doesn't have to go back.
They're not back on the market. Yeah, they've already got a strong offer that they were happy with that they're putting in. A lot of times we'll put a cash offer in backup position if it's a multiple offer situation, and maybe it's not as high of an offer, but it's a backup to where if you needed to close in a certain amount of time, you don't have to go back and start the whole process over again. Anyway, that's a backup offer, but we've got to take a quick break, I think, right? Yeah. I don't have my clock today. So I'm like, what time is it? Yes. Okay, so Joe, we're going to take a quick break. And then we come back, let's talk about easements, property line disputes, what happens with the tree on your property line, all that good stuff. I'm Allison Norman.
I'm Stephanie Norman.
And we're the Norman Home Team, and you're listening to The Real Estate Hour. We'll be right back.
Now, here are Allison and Stephanie.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
This is one of my favorites.
It's a good one, for sure.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad. Okay, we don't want me to start singing. No. Okay, so let's talk about in the little bit of time we have left, easements, property lines. I mentioned country property, and this comes up a lot, and it's really even more important when it's a vacant parcel, undeveloped, to really understand where the property lines are, or if you have acreage or even a smaller parcel. where are those property lines? And it's number one, most important, your fence line is not necessarily your property line. That's where somebody put a fence years ago. So it's not necessarily your property line. It's really important to know that. And if you need to know, even sometimes we had a property years ago where somebody had actually built like a patio and a big extended area. And the neighbor, and this was a bigger, like a 10-acre parcel, like there maybe it's like a 5-acre parcel, but the neighbor did a survey, and they're all, excuse me, and I think it was like somebody had bought the house, or they were, that's, usually you're right, how it works. If they don't like a structure on your property, it's too close. If it's, you're doing, something, they don't like your trees. A lot of times it's the previous owner's been fine with it. And we'll hear somebody, on that, and they'll go, well, that's okay because we kind of have an agreement between between neighbors. That doesn't matter if they sell. You don't have, you have an agreement, and it's a handshake agreement or whatever, but that doesn't count if a new person comes in and says, hey, I don't, that agreement wasn't with me. I don't like that, So, so anyway, it's really, so we did have somebody, and they said, oh, you got to remove all that. It's on our property. So they're, oh gosh. And it was actually, they were actually getting ready to put it on the market too. And it was a really nice feature of the property, but it was on the other people's property line. So it's really important to understand those property lines. And so there's different ways you can get a full survey. First, you can look and see if there's a recorded survey. It'll be with the preliminary title report they'll have, or it'll be with the county. There'll be an actual recorded survey that shows the lot lines and all that. You can also look and see if the properties next to you have a recorded easement, because then at least you can see one line between your lot and their, and maybe the one on the other side also has a recorded easement, so now you're getting closer to understanding where your lot lines are. But really the best way to know is to get a survey. They're a little pricey, but, so is moving a structure because you put it in the wrong place, or removing a fence, or, getting less of property than you thought you were because you thought the property line was there and it wasn't. So another thing you can do that's a little less expensive is you can get a corner retracement, and where they actually will just mark the corners with no guarantee of if it deviates from a straight line anywhere between the corners, but it can at least let you know where here's the corners of your property. You can do it just 2 corners, you can do all 4. Again, they're also going to look and see if they can find any easements from other properties, that'll help them understand where the line is. But there's that big caveat that they say and make you sign saying that we're only telling you where the corners are. And, I've had people where they just kind of walk they'll look at where the road frontage is on the plat map, and the plat map, especially if it's an overlay, if you're looking at an overlay, a lot of the websites now will have an overlay of the parcel lines, and so now you're looking down satellite, looking at the picture. Here's a tree, here's a house here, here's this. There's also a big disclosure on those that says, these may not be 100% accurate. So just because the picture shows that the house or a garage or a barn is within the property line, it doesn't mean that line is in the right place. And a lot of times they're off a little bit. But anyway, I've had people where they'll at least try and find the line along the street, the road frontage, and they'll walk it, they'll take that little wheel that the surveyors have, that you can buy, and or you just 1 foot in front of the other and measure it. That'll give you an idea, but again, it's not accurate unless it's a actual survey and then it's a recorded survey. So, if especially country property, it's important to do.
It reminded me of that listing we had. I think it was in Runner Park, where it was grandfathered in, where it was a sidewalk that led to the other neighborhood. Yeah. And there was a fence.
Yeah, well, and that was actually the city of Roanoke Park actually gave that or sold it to them. They didn't want that for some reason anymore. So there's this sidewalk. Then there's a fence. Then there's sidewalk going through the yard. Then there's another fence, and then there's a park. And it's like, well, that was kind of rude to just cut off that walkway to the neighborhood, but it was purchased, and it was was no longer an easement. And so anyway, so there's a lot of important reasons to understand where your property lines are, whether you live in the city or you live out in the country or you're buying a bare piece of land. And most important is that the fence line is not necessarily the property line. Important. And where a building is doesn't mean it should be, right?
Yeah, especially when your neighbors just go and put in a fence and it doesn't match the lot line.
It's like, oh, we're just going to put a new fence here.
Yeah.
We won't get into that, but yes,
just because there's a fence there doesn't mean that that's your property or their property.
It's where someone decided to put a fence.
Yes, exactly. Fences don't always determine lot lines.
Yeah, yes. And then, so speaking of fences, I mean, a fence is owned by both parties, okay? Even if somebody, I mean, in the case that you just mentioned, they built it on their parcel, their land, and that's their fence. But if it's on the lot line, it's a shared fence. And so when you fill out your disclosures, for one, is there anything that you share? Common with the neighbor, yes, a fence. Almost always a fence. And yes, there are utility easements, and sometimes there's a driveway easement where somebody has to drive. And so basically an easement is where somebody is allowed to go across your property or use your property for a specific reason, and it stays with the property. It's a legal part of the property. Anyway, so, and a big one is trees. And so, somebody planted a tree against their fence, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Now it's this huge tree that's sitting across your parcel and their parcel. What do you do about it? That is one of the biggest things that attorneys deal with any kind of land use attorney, is trees. And you can't just cut it down because it's not yours, even though it's sitting on your lot line. You can cut a tree back if it's hanging over your yard. If it's from the neighbors, it's hanging over your fence, it's a nuisance, you don't like it there, you can cut it back, but you can't kill it. So you can only cut it back to the extent that you're not going to kill their tree. So probably should get a professional to do that.
Definitely.
Anyway, we're going to run out of time, but that's, it's a really important thing. Happy to chat with you more if you have questions about an easement or a fence or a tree or what's going on. We do have a good attorney that we can recommend that's really good at kind of helping. Sometimes it's just as writing a letter, or gosh, go knock on your neighbor's door. We have, we've had situations, 2 things now that have happened to where they just did it and didn't even ask, come knock on our door. Come and knock on our door. Anyway.
Been waiting for you.
All right, we gotta go. I'm Allison Norman.
I'm Stephanie Norman.
We're the Norman Home Team. You've been listening to the Real Estate Hour. Tune in next week. Amanda Hager, Task Mortgage, talking all about the mortgage world and what's happening right now. That's all we have time for. We'll have a great day. We'll see you next week.
You've been listening to The Real Estate Hour with Allison and Stephanie Norman, the Norman Home Team on KSRO. Join them every Sunday morning at 9.